Hello and welcome to the Some Dude Shed. It's Newsday. And in the news this week, heartbroken woman who paid £20,000 to clone her soulmate cat after it died faces backlash.
Giant 2.5 foot owl tries to eat UK jogger.
Bong. School threatens pupils with detention if they don't donate to Red Nose Day.
Man jailed for attacking stranger with a seagull.
Deadly weapon.
And that is the news this week.
We are back in the shed this week as well.
Yes,
Nice.
that is it. That is true, Mr. Black. Yes, we're back in the shed.
Got a new horse to do.
I got a new horse.
You got your
It's another black horse from Sweden again.
You got a cure for your huskies.
Yeah, Mr. Black's Huskies are back on the road again.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm always here. I live in the shed.
I mean, the horse has a lot of miles and no service history. So anyway, on with the news. So what do we talk about first? Let's talk about this woman who cloned her cat.
For how much?
I said 20,000. I was rounding. It's £19,000 is what she spent.
Is that all to clone something?
It's quite a lot of money.
Yeah,
you know.
but they actually make a duplicate of what you had. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, but it's a cat.
Yeah.
What could you
I mean,
just...
it's very impressive if it was a human. It's not. It's a cat. I mean, without reading the article, I can just tell you that you can buy a whole new cat for about nothing. You know,
Yes, but
you
it's
get
not...
vets and stuff who give away new cats for free.
But it's not a copy of the original.
True. Anyway, so on with this. Kelly Anderson enlisted the help of a cloning company to deal with her intense grief after her beloved cat died in 2017.
Cloning company? Cloning R Us?
A cloning company, yes, that's right. So yeah, the cat the original cat, Mark 1, died on the operating table at the age of 5, so before its time. And so she took a sample of so she did what any grieving pet owner would do, is she took a sample of the DNA and sent it off to a lab. She says she did it as a coping mechanism for the intense grief of her cat's passing.
That doesn't sound like coping, though. It sounds like she just doesn't want to have to deal with the grief, so she's just going to get a new cat, and it's like it never happened.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of dealing with grief.
It pretty much is a new cat, though. It's clones, or it'll look the same, but it's still a whole different thing.
That's what I was wondering. Is it like, if you clone somebody, would they have the same personality and everything?
And that's the argument of nature versus nurture, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like how much of your personality has been developed from your lived experiences rather than what was set in stone whenever you were born.
Well, I'm a shell of the person I used to be, so I'd say nurture.
Yeah, well, there you go. So yeah, it was her roommate that works in vet tech that told her about Viagen, a Texas-based company that can clone animals for you.
So if I like get a piece of my own DNA and go there and say, okay, this is my dog, can you clone this for me, please? Grows in the test tube, and you come back like a month later, or how long it takes to grow them.
Well, it took quite a long time. It wasn't exactly overnight. I mean, from my understanding, is it took several attempts, and it was quite unsuccessful. It took until August last year for it to actually work, and the cat died in 2017. So it took a good 4 years for them to actually get it working. So I don't think it's a perfect process. But it did work. They ended up with a cat that looks the same, the white cat with blue eyes. That's all you can tell, really.
So what's the backlash for?
You shouldn't be playing God. I'm gonna assume that's what the statement is.
I'm trying to find the backlash, actually. Hold on.
There's probably a lot of Bible bashers.
All right, here we go. So Kelly has faced a huge backlash over her decision, with people claiming that she is unfairly replacing her old pet, or even that cloning doesn't exist and she's been scammed. So it took them 4 years to find a cat that looks pretty much the same. Here you go. Yeah,
and it died 5 years old on the operating table. So like she's cloning a defective cat.
Could have been hit by a car. I mean, there's no details on that. But
anyway, moving on.
Yeah, it's just, it seems like an awful lot of money to get a new cat.
Just take it to the Indian burial ground.
That could have worked. Yeah, she should have done that first. No, nothing bad happens there.
Pet cemetery. Dead is better.
Yeah, they don't usually come back very happy.
Mm.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
So yes, giant 2.5 foot owl tries to eat UK jogger. A whopping 2.5-foot Euro-Asian eagle owl has attacked a runner who claims the bird was trying to eat her.
2.5 foot. That's wingspan, I guess. That's quite big, I suppose.
Like when a cruel crow soars down upon my small terrier as we were taking a morning stroll across the common, a woman was left petrified on her daily jog in Norwich. Data scientist Haiti Atkinson Smith was running along the riverside close to Norwich City Car Road Football Stadium at 6:10 in the morning when she thought she felt a hand on the back of her head. Little did the 27-year-old know what she was about to be faced with when she turned around. Turning back, Atkinson Smith came head to head with a massive bird, Mail Online reports. The runner recalled my head was down and I had my earphones in, and I was not really taking much in around me. Then I felt something on the back of my head, and it felt like a hand that went down over my head. I looked up, and there was just this massive bird that obviously had come down. I think it thought I was an animal and tried to eat me. It was so weird. It was just so big that was what was scary, and I've never seen a bird as big as that in the wild, not in a zoo. I sprinted away because I was obviously a bit scared. It would try again. My hair was up in my ponytail, so this is why I think it might have thought I was a rodent or something.
It's probably the feels like one. Just jokes.
After getting a really good look at it, Atkinson Smith googled the bird. I was sure it was a bird of prey, as it was so big and it had the hook beak and stuff. Its feathers were 2 different shades of brown, and it had these feathers above its eyes that kind of poked up. Atkinson Smith noted how huge the wingspan was of the bird. I'd say the wingspan was coming up as tall as me. It was really big. I'm 5'5", she explained. The runner discovered that the bird was an Eurasian eagle owl, with a wingspan totaling a massive 6 foot.
Wow.
However, upon seeing that the eagle owl wasn't native to the UK, Atkinson Smith googled Norwich eagle owl and it came up with all these articles about it. From her search, the jogger discovered that the bird had been roaming Norwich for quite a while and had been spotted regularly in multiple residents. However, she hasn't reached out to its owner about the attack. The owl, reportedly named Alfie, subsequently continues to fly freely around the city.
Well, if there was an owner, it'd probably be some kind of exotic pet, right?
I feel like this might be just bollocks if she's making this up, because see if owl latches into the back of your head, you're needing stitches. You know what I mean?
Unless it just attacked a ponytail.
No, she said he felt a hand in the back of her head, like an actual hand, but it's not. They're actual talons.
They have big talons.
And they will dig, and that's why people handling owls, they always have to have that big, thick leather glove. Otherwise, it'll claw you.
I did just do a little Google image search there for a Eurasian eagle owl, and it's quite a majestic looking thing. It's the classic big brown owl with the 2 feathers poking up like ears.
Mm.
So that's the one that she was attacked by, apparently.
Owls are pretty cool. They always look like they know something you don't. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They look like they look very wise or something.
Is that why you get a group of them called the Judge of Owls?
Judge, yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Council, a council of owls. Call that.
How did crows get a murder? A murder of crows,
Hitchcock probably something to blame for that.
possibly.
They must get it together and peck things to death. I don't know.
Nah. Plus, if an owl attacks you, you're probably just a dick. Probably deserve it. You did something.
Are you saying this is like divine intervention here, divine judgment?
Probably.
Yeah. So it's just a woman who got attacked by a giant bird.
Wow. Funny enough, I've got a similar news story. I think that's coming up later though.
Oh.
Do you want to roll with it now?
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? Segue into it. A man has been jailed for attacking a stranger with a seagull.
That's rather heroic, to be honest.
Well, it's one could say that.
How do you even attack somebody with a seagull?
Well, basically, the seagull appeared to be sitting in the sitting in the road. I think it must have been hit by something. It looked injured.
All right.
So Paul Elcom.
For a second, I thought this would be a bit more complicated. Like, he trained the seagull to attack someone.
Oh no!
Not that he just picked a dead seagull off of the ground and started hitting somebody with it.
He picked up the seagull and threw it at a guy.
I pictured it. He tied a seagull at the end of a big stick, and then it would bite you. So it's kind of like a spear, a speargle.
Well, sadly, it's not that interesting. Basically, he was on his way home from a 2-day drink and drugs boozer, and he came across a seagull lying in the road, and he started showing it to people. before throwing it at his victim. He then beat him up with his fists, his feet, and his belt. As a result of the random attack, like this was a random attack, I didn't know the guy. As a result of the random attack, he was jailed for over a year and was given an extra 2 weeks for failing to show up to his trial.
We called him Birdman in jail.
I think that just brings new meaning to random attack.
Yeah,
Pretty random.
that's pretty random. I mean, the guy never saw it coming.
It reminds me, remember like in one of our previous conversations, I mentioned a guy called Albert Dryden.
What's that?
Remember him? He's like the guy that he made his own guns and stuff, and the council came to knock down his bungalow.
Oh yeah.
Well, he went to a council meeting, but for some reason, he threw a chicken at one of the council members.
Probably deserved it.
Yeah,
If I remember that story.
he's like a wee farmer guy, but he attacked him with a live chicken apparently.
And,
For any of you's curious, by the way, there's a video on YouTube of a guy just catches a seagull. Another way, like you're parked up at KFC or something, and it's usually like swarm of seagulls, and it's only just KFC. But just type in YouTube, man catches seagull, and he's just sitting there like sort of holding a chip. He's like holding chips out the window, and they're like swooping down like nearly at the window, try and grab the chip. And as one gets close enough, he just goes whoosh, and he grabs it, and he just brings it into the car and holds it, and the thing's like going apeshit, and he just sets it free.
brilliant.
There you go.
Seagulls. Anyway, I don't
Usually-
really like seagulls.
You usually see them stealing ice cream cones.
They get bigger
I
every
see.
year too. You ever notice that?
It's 'cause all the chips they eat.
Like some of them are absolute monsters.
Oh, they're huge. They're bigger than cats. Oh,
Mm.
There's there's also a compilation of them stealing ice cream cones by the seaside resorts on YouTube.
Wankers.
they're awful.
Anyway,
Moving on, Mr. Black. What have you found?
school threatens pupils with detention if they don't donate to Red Nose Day.
Wow. Okay.
That's not very funny.
What are your thoughts on charity?
Well, when it's enforced, it's
It's not really charity.
it's
though.
tax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Children, well, they're teaching the kids to pay tax. Pay your taxes, kids. Otherwise, go to prison.
You're already in a day prison. Do you want to know what real prison looks like?
A school has spoken out after it sent an email around warning parents their child could be put in detention if they fail to offer donation for Red Nose Day. An email around to parents? Livingstone Academy in Bournemouth. In our like
Bournemouth.
accents, it sounds really weird. The sounds some English places.
Um,
Bournemouth.
Mr. Gray, if you would like to pronounce it for us.
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Which
Thank you,
describes itself on its website as a pioneering school for the 21st century. Aye. It's very 21st century of them, isn't it?
What, by shaking their peoples then?
Yeah, pretty much. Has been at the center of the backlash after it sent out the email ahead of Red Nose these guys can't type. Ahead of Red Nose Day on the 18th of March. Given the current cost of living crisis, millions of low-income households struggling to get by, punishing students who are unable to donate to charity has left many parents outraged. The original email read, "We can confirm that tomorrow, Friday, is a multi-day..."
Mufti? by any chance?
Mufti. What's that mean?
Mufti is kind of the English term for no uniform.
Oh, Mufti Day, and originally students were asked to pay £1 donation for this by today, Thursday. The funny thing is, they probably just take all that money and put it to the school fund or something. I wouldn't believe for a second I went to any like Red Nose Day charity.
Either that or the staff do for the last day of the year.
Yeah, the beer tab.
The beer tab.
It continued by warning, "We will accept donations tomorrow. However, anyone in Mufti who has not donated £1 towards Red Nose Day will be subject to a SLT detention." SLT, like lunchtime or something lunchtime. Detention tomorrow after school. Never mind. Head teacher Dr. Kimberly Elms. I don't know,
but that's just fucking ridiculous.
The head teacher, Dr. Kimberly Elms, has apologized for her erroneous email and has subsequently offered the following clarification to parents. "We at Livingstone Academy, Bournemouth, are looking forward to celebrating Red Nose Day and with lots of fun and raising money for good causes. It is our student council that has spent weeks planning extended lunchtime on Friday with activities and games for prizes. It is our students who have elected to have a mufti day, fuck's sakes, and asked for £1 donation to do so. All the money raised going to comic relief and the charities it supports. Unfortunately, an erroneous message went out from the office inbox stating children who are not in non-uniform but have not donated will receive detention. This is not true. We have since issued clarification and apology to our families." Sounds like bollocks to me.
So they just send out lies, is what they're saying.
That sounds like bollocks to me, yeah.
Yeah, that's backtracking if I've ever heard it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't believe in charity.
Don't believe in charity.
No.
Why not?
Because, well,
90% of it goes to the administration of the charity.
Exactly. Like it funds the charity, and if these charities solved any of the causes that they were trying to,
Then they wouldn't exist anymore.
exactly, wouldn't exist. Like they need these problems, so they need homeless people, they need people with cancer, they need people, all this stuff that you give charity money for, starving people, whatever. They need these people to fund their business, basically. If there's a person starving, I'd more than happily give them money, as long as there's no like evil charity organization middleman.
So it's not charity itself
Not charity.
that you don't like, it's the charity organizations
Yeah, pretty
that
much.
you don't trust.
Exactly.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that eye opener, I think it's time to end.
I think so.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
But if you did feel charitable, you could donate 1 or 10 or £100, whatever you like, to the Some Dude Shed podcast. We need to eat.